Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us, tmosso@the1916company.com. It is in the description below. Our purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any of our watches. Reach out to tmosso@the1916company.com. This is exactly the kind of watch I most enjoy presenting. Rare, packed with features, and a great value. From the newly independent Ulysse Nardin manufacturer, this is the Quadrato dual-time Perpetual Calendar. It was launched back in 2005, and here in white gold, 42 millimeters in diameter, or across, maybe we should say. It is 14.1 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, 55.4 millimeters, with a nice broad-shouldered 24 millimeter spacing between the lugs. This is a watch that fits better as the strap breaks in, although the fit is quite good. It's a large watch, however. As you can see on my wrist, it lives up to its name, this Quadrato, being broad and a quadrilateral with large lug span and massive weight. You can really feel the value here, being all white gold and robustly constructed. Now, I can wear this, but I do think you need a wrist of my size or larger to wear it well. If the wrist were any smaller, those lugs would be over the edge, and I think that's a no-go. It's not as thick as you think, and it's got a little bit of a slope and a step to its bezel, so it should fit under most cuffs, including all jackets. The strap will be a large factor in the fit, and because it is fully integrated, snugged against the case, there's some rigidity there. It can't pull straight down, but as this material beds in and breaks in, it'll become more supple and more flexible. That's why I always say don't judge a strap by its raw appearance. This will fit a whole lot better when you've worn it a few times. We are getting you a brand new Ulysse Nardin factory strap. Large rectangular scale alligator leather, including symmetrical scales. Very expensive cut of the animal. There's bolstering, so it fits the lug profile and also has some volume. A monotone stitch. We have sheer cut sides, no crimping, no gouging. And you can see we have a Ulysse Nardin matching double fold white gold clasp. It's media blasted and polished. It has ceramic spring-loaded pin snaps, so over time, you see how this works. The gold cannot wear down that ceramic pin snap, so the tolerances will remain crisp over time. We also have a twin trigger system. You have to press both these triggers for this to open. So this large, heavy, and valuable watch will stay anchored to your wrist. And then we have a Ulysse Nardin anchor logo on the external buckle of the clasp. We're going to jump back to the case now. A combination of polish and satin with a UN inlay, little anchor right there on a nautical blue base, reminding you that Ulysse Nardin rose to fame in the 19th century and early 20th century for its navigation clocks or marine chronometers. We have this little dip of polish on the flank. We have polished and fluted lugs. You can see that there's a bit of a bevel on the edge of the case, and that's present at all four corners. We have a stepped bezel. You can see outboard there's a satin lug hood and then case hood, and then atop that case hood we have this polished bezel, which is actually rounded off on all of its corners as well as its edge and polished all the way around. Taking a look at the dial, a spectacular nickel anthracite colored clou de Paris, and in addition to that, we have a polished UN anchor, applique logo, indices outboard applied, applique Arabic numeral 12, and the clou de Paris here is a sort of pyramid, so it's a pyramid profile. The 24-hour scale for the second time zone, notice how it's been beveled on its side and then satinated on its top. Excellent attention to detail. Do a quick loom shot here, and you can see this watch is actually quite well loomed. No problem reading at least the primary hour and minutes in the dark. In 1994, on the San Marco, Ulysse Nardin introduced its GMT plus-minus system, which allows you to change the local hour simply by using the triggers on the case flank. If you wish to manipulate everything all at once, then there we go. Then the crown is how you do it. So here you could see, in order to avoid confusion, midnight for the second time zone is actually down at 6 o'clock. So that's how that works. And this is a true 24-hour format second time zone. You can see that the watch does have an enormously complete perpetual calendar system designed by Ludwig Axelin and originally launched in '96 on the Perpetual Ludwig. The calendar was combined with the GMT in 1999 on the GMT Plus Minus Perpetual, a landmark watch that lends its caliber UN32 to the model you see here. Now I can adjust the calendar in both directions. Note, I don't just have a big date or a grande date, but I actually can adjust it in both directions. Note I have a month, I have a day, I even have a year. And don't worry about that, because as you can see, notice the month right there? Jumping between December and November, I can turn this backwards. It's easy to do, and the quick set allows me to roll the perpetual calendar in both directions. And so the perpetual calendar ultimately knows how to get around leap years, irregular length months. If you keep the watch running, the perpetual calendar will always display a correct day, date, month, year, and decade. Now, also impressive, COSC certified Swiss chronometer adjusted in 5 positions. 30-meter water-resistant case. On the back, you can see the UN caliber 32. Distantly Lamagna-based, uses a magic lever bidirectional Paul-based winding system for a 45 to 48-hour power reserve. It has a 4 hertz beat rate, and as you can see, it's quite large and nicely fills this case back. We have hand finishing on the white gold rotor with a little lacquered inlay, an engraved anchor at center. We have blued screws. We have fire blued screws across this movement. You can see we have little skeletonizations with interior angles, satin finish, beveling on the edge of the rotor. We have a grattement, or a scraped by hand pattern. Engine turning on the base, circular Côte de Genève across the bridges. 34 pivot jewels. A proper movement. Chronometer certified with GMT and perpetual calendar. Reach out to express interest in this rare and exotic watch from the newly independent brand Ulysse Nardin. I am Team Mosso at the 1916company.com.